How to make a fully functional floating on-screen keyboard using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Let's create index.html, styles.css and script.js files. Now let's move on to implementing the structure in the HTML file. Specify the title of the web page within the head section. Include a link to the external CSS file that will style our HTML elements. Within the body, establish a main container div with a class of container. This will hold the text field and buttons. Nest another div inside the main container for the text field and associated buttons. Assign it a class of text field container. Insert an input element of type text within the text field container. Following the text input field, place a button element with an ID of show keyboard button and a class of icon button. Next to the show keyboard button, place another button element with an ID of search button and a class of icon button. Outside the main container, create a new div with a class of keyboard and an ID of keyboard. Initially, set this container to be hidden by adding the class hidden. Within the keyboard container, create a div for the keyboard header with a class of keyboard header. Inside this, place a span with an ID of close keyboard button. Below the keyboard header, create another div with a class of keyboard body to hold the keyboard rows and keys. Inside the keyboard body, create multiple div elements with the class keyboard row. In the first keyboard row, insert button elements with the class key and a data value attribute corresponding to the numbers 1 through 0. In the second keyboard row, insert button elements with the class key and the data value attribute corresponding to the letters Q through P. In the third keyboard row, insert button elements with the class key and the data value attribute corresponding to the letters A through L. In the fourth keyboard row, insert button elements with the class key and the data value attribute corresponding to the letters Z through M, including a space key. In the fifth keyboard row, insert button elements with the class key and the data value attribute for backspace and enter keys. Finally, at the end of the body, incorporate a script tag to link to our JavaScript file. Now let's move on to writing styles. Begin by setting the font family. Use Flexbox to center the content both horizontally and vertically. Set the height to ensure the content takes up the full viewport height. Ensure the container is centered by setting its text alignment to center. Place the text field container relatively within the flow of the document. Style the text input field with padding, including extra padding on the right to accommodate the buttons. Set the font size. Add a margin at the bottom. Apply a border with the rounded corners and a transition effect for the border color. Change the border color and remove the outline when the text field is focused. Position the icon buttons absolutely within the text field container. Center them vertically and place them to the right. Set the color with a transition effect for color change. Change the color when the icon buttons are hovered over. Move the Show Keyboard button to the right and add padding at the bottom. Position the keyboard absolutely in the center of the viewport. Give it a white background, a border with the rounded corners, and a box shadow for a subtle elevation effect. Style the keyboard header with a background color and white text. Add padding and make the cursor a move icon to indicate draggability. Make the close button a pointer cursor and position it to the far right with a larger font size. Add padding to the keyboard body to space out the keys. Use Flexbox to display the keyboard rows horizontally and add a margin at the bottom of each row. Provide padding, font size, and margins for each key. Make the cursor a pointer. Add a transition effect for background color change. Change the background color when a key is hovered over. Use the hidden class to set the display property to none. Now let's move on to implementing the logic. Start by adding an event listener for the DOM content loaded event to ensure the DOM is fully loaded before running the script. Identify and store references to the essentials elements. At the text field, show keyboard button, search button, keyboard container, close keyboard button, and keyboard header. Set up variables to track the dragging state and the offset positions. Attach a click event listener to the Show Keyboard button. When clicked, remove the hidden class from the keyboard to display it. Attach a click event listener to the Close Keyboard button. When clicked, add the hidden class to the keyboard to hide it. Attach a click event listener to the Search button. When clicked, display an alert with the message Search button clicked. Select all elements with the class key and attach a click event listener to each. When a key is clicked, retrieve its data value attribute. If the value is backspace, remove the last character from the text field. If the value is enter, add a new line character to the text field. Otherwise, append the value to the text field. Attach a mouse down event listener to the keyboard header. When the header is clicked, set is dragging to true and calculate the offset positions based on the mouse coordinates and the keyboard's current position. Attach a mouse move event listener to the document. If its dragging is true, update the keyboard's position based on the mouse coordinates and the calculated offsets. Attach a mouse up event listener to the document. When the mouse button is released, set its dragging to false to stop the dragging action. As a result, we created a fully functional floating on-screen keyboard using HTML, CSS and JavaScript.